Kevin. Knowing that we are socially distanced, I'm going to take my mask off. I would ask if you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call?
Michael Cashman.
Present.
Thomas Wood. I'm here. Meg LaFave.
Here.
Barbara Hebert.
Here.
Charles Costick.
Here.
James J. Coffey.
Here.
And myself is present.
Before we start tonight's meeting, I wanted to do two things. First, I wanted to read a statement that the board has in relationship to well, I'm just going to read the statement. I think it will speak for itself. There are deep structural deficits in our society caused by systemic racism and bias. The abuse of power by a few has again led to another senseless act of violence. This time it was the killing of George Floyd. Sadly, this is not the first black or brown life to be taken, and fearfully it will not be the last. We stand in solidarity for the demand of justice, end of abuse, and denounce the vitriolic hatred. Some will say, what about? In this moment, we are focused on hearing, seeing, and standing with our black and brown community. It does not negate other injustices. Systemic racism perpetuates not only the violence, but lacks in access to housing, healthcare, and education in our black and brown community. We are committed to making the town of Plattsburgh a safe and inclusive community in all areas. It cannot be achieved by any one of us alone, but can be embraced by heart, mind, and actions of all of us. Together, we can secure real social and justice reform locally, state, and nationwide. And my hope is that we can work together. I know that this is the first step among many, and I just want to thank my colleagues for publicly putting that statement out there. We'll be sharing that with the press, and we'll also be sharing that with our employees, or as I prefer to call them, team members. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to take a moment before we get into the first resolution.
Oh, can I?
Yep.
If you do put it out, you can change the spelling of the name.
Yes, I will. Thank you. The thing I wanted to say before we get into the first resolution is it is really good to see all of you here in person. And I want to thank every single one of you for remaining diligent in your duties as elected officials by staying connected with all that's been going on here at Town Hall, from doing the bi-weekly abstract to the phone calls to continuing the committee meetings. COVID-19 has been challenging the very way that government operates, and I know that we are working to do a 360 review of many of those functions, and but continue to move forward and make sure that we're addressing infrastructure and quality of life and investments, and I mean the whole plethora of things. So I just want to thank you as colleagues. It's very, very good to see you folks here. And for the folks that may be watching at home, we are making yet another round of adaptations to do some of these things in the practice of good public health. We're socially distant, but we remain connected. The town hall is open for members of the public to participate in our board meetings, though we are limiting the number of people to participate at one given time. But we always remind people that they can submit public comments through email, they can call, they can write a letter, put a stamp on it. So we remain committed to transparent government and a government that is connected to the people that we serve. So with that, I would ask ask for a motion for the first resolution, and that's to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of April 23rd and May 7th, 2020 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Second.
Lefebvre, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So does carry. Is there anything for public comment tonight? Seeing none, moving forward. Resolution 85, 2020 Highway Road Striping Program.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh and Clinton County participate in shared services to save cost and duplication of services, and whereas Highway Superintendent Tim Dubray has recently been in contact with the Clinton County Highway Department Superintendent Carl Weiss regarding the highway striping program for the town of Plattsburgh, and whereas the town of Plattsburgh has appropriated money in the 2020 highway budget for the 2020 road striping program, and whereas Mr. Tim Dubray, Highway Superintendent, has submitted the 2020 highway road striping program in the amount of $20,446.97. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board does hereby authorize the highway superintendent to spend 2020 budgeted funds from account DA-5110-4300 and DA-5112-4800 to execute the aforementioned 2020 road striping program. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the highway superintendent and the county highway superintendent.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Lefebvre, is there a second?
Second.
Costick, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. So does carry.
Mike?
Yep.
84?
For the abstract?
For the abstract?
Up one. I
That's
apologize,
okay.
it's stuck to the.
You want one?
It's stuck to it.
Okay.
Kevin, can you read the abstract?
Yes,
Yeah, 84.
Resolution 20-84, abstract
Good.
6A-20. Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 6A-20, 739 through 7940, for $147,223.07. Abstract 6A-20, 128 through 142, prepays for the amount of $339,622.57 we received as reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Thank you for catching that, Bart. All right. Resolution 86.
Whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh recognizes the need for and desirability of more attractive and litter-free town parks, and whereas the town board of the town of Plattsburgh wishes to recognize and extends the sincerest and most profound thank you to the Plattsburgh Sunrise Rotary for adopting the Lapeer Lane Riverway now, therefore be it resolved, the town board approve and authorize the Recreation Department of the town of Plattsburgh to coordinate services by the Plattsburgh Sunrise Rotary volunteers for the Lapeer Lane Riverway Park.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Costick, any discussion? I would just add that this was always the goal of this particular space, is to have those public-private partnerships. I'm glad that it's been realized. It's become a wonderful space, and I think this relationship with Rotary will certainly make sure that it's a wonderful space for many years to come. So, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Knowing the need of to go into an executive session tonight to discuss the work history of 5 specific individuals, and also to discuss the ongoing litigation with the city of Plattsburgh. Is there a motion to the effect?
So moved.
Um,
Can I make a statement? Are you adjourning?
No, go into an exec for pending litigation and 5 specific employees.
I would just like to make a statement before we head
Sure.
away, because we'll come back out.
Yep.
this all feels unnatural to be sitting like this with our masks on. But I think what is most unnatural of all is that we have a statement here regarding the fact that a white police officer killed a black woman again in our country. And this statement is weak. I think everybody here knows that I feel that way. But any statement would be weak at this moment, truly. There's nothing else to be done other than action. And I think as a town board, an action that we can take immediately is to reach out to our local law enforcement and make sure that they are standing shoulder to shoulder with the protesters this weekend. And I, for one, have taken that action. I've talked to Levi Ritter and I've asked him what he's doing to stand with the protesters this weekend. And he's meeting with them every day up until the protest to see how they can support the protest, and to just continue to ask law enforcement in our community to not draw a line between Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter. All this is about right now is Black lives, and to really focus on that. And we're so isolated here, and so privileged because of that in so many ways. If the killing of George Floyd hadn't been on television or on video and on social media in the way that it is, we wouldn't know about it and we wouldn't be affected the way we are. But the black people in our community would be. And we absolutely have to stay focused on that. And everything else we've done here today and that we continue to do to take care of our town, it just seems like very piddly.
Well, I appreciate that, Meg, and certainly this is a forum for the fact that we're all together. I miss all of you, but, again, not to create discomfort, but as a person of color who represents our town board and the town of Plattsburgh, I think it's important that I also chime in. But I think this board can tolerate some very uncomfortable discussions down the road that are crucial to continuing our success as a team, and I really mean that as a team. So, inclusiveness is going to be very important. So, just to piggyback on what you said.
And if you don't mind that,
No, actually, I can share it with the rest of our team. I guess I need to just say, just professionally, that I just owe it to no silence anymore,
right, exactly.
and I hope you all understand that.
We certainly have more work to do, no doubt. No doubt. Thank you. Sorry, just collecting my thought for a moment. There was a motion to go into executive session regarding the ongoing pending litigation with the city of Plattsburgh, and to discuss the specific work history of 5 individuals. There was a motion by Councilor Costick. Is there a second to the effect?
Second.
Hebert. Roll call, please.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg Lefebvre,
Yes.
Barbara Heath,
Yes.
Charles Costick,
Yes.
and Michael K.
Yes, we will go into an executive session starting at 6:13 p.m. I will have Kevin shut off the camera so we can go into executive session.
Mm-hmm.